Okay, I know this is probably very noisy, but I have an experiment going on, and this is the hot end of an air conditioner facing into my house with the cold side pointing out of the house. And I saw this on Tech Ingredients, so I'm doing the experiment myself, trying it out. And so far, that thing's reading about 81 degrees output into this room, and it's 26 degrees outside. Okay, it's using 350 watts to generate that much heat. I think this might work out. I'm gonna let you know what happens whenever I figure it out mathematically. Okay, catch you later. Okay, here's the problem with that air conditioner in the window backwards. Now that I brought it in the shop, it thawed out. So it froze on me and would not operate. It wouldn't heat up. Okay. The outside was frozen, and apparently pretty well frozen, because this has been in the shop for a half an hour now and it's still dripping. So yeah, when it's outside in the freezing weather, as a heat pump, the air conditioner does work, but it freezes up on me. So my next step is to figure out how to get a heater in there to warm it up, maybe once an hour, once every 2 hours, whatever it takes to keep it thawed, and go from there. We'll try that. But it does work, and it will save energy. There's no doubt about it. Okay, there you can see all the ice pretty plainly. Yeah, they wasn't going to do anything like that. Needs to circulate air and absorb the heat from the outside in order to function. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get some way to heat that. Just warm it up, maybe from out here or here or whatever, maybe from underneath. And yes, it drips out the front, so I put a hole there, carefully drilled. Very carefully drilled, and then blocked off the drain that went to the back normally. So this normally does collect condensation outside and drips, or inside, and drips to the back, which is the outside. So I blocked that off, and then had a hole here so it drips out here. So anyway, what I did originally was just bypass this thermostat. Okay, you go in here and there's just 2 wires on it, and I just put a switch on it. That's all I did. So nothing to it, pretty simple. But if I can get this to stop happening, or to have a thaw cycle, I'll be alright. This is from yesterday, so it had all evening and all night, and it wouldn't thaw because it's, 12 degrees out, 13 degrees out last night. So yeah, it wasn't about to thaw. So let me think about that. We'll see if we can figure it out. I might just post this as is and let somebody else figure it out for me, if you want to. I have some of this heat tape. It's a thermo-resistive plastic inside here. This outer cover is for protection mostly, and there's 2 wires in here parallel to each other. Okay, there's plastic in between. It's a resistive plastic that changes resistance with temperature. So the hotter it gets, the more resistance it gets. So it actually regulates itself. I have a 25-foot piece that I hooked up and tested out. Actually, I think it's 26 feet. And it read about 400 watts when I plugged it in, and soon afterwards it went down to 107 watts. Okay, and I checked temperature all over this tape. The hottest spot I ever got was 115 degrees, which is not really too hot. It's a little warm to touch, but like I said, this self-regulates temperature, and I'm going to use this in here to go in between these runs of tubing and warm this up. So I have one run. You can't put this stuff double, you know, against itself, but I can put it here like this. Okay, so it'll be touching here, here, and all the way down here. So I'm going to run it here, and then I'm going to do it on the other side and run it down the other direction, and then I'm going to hook it up to a switch. And that way I can put the heater on whenever I want to, and then later on I'll automate it. But for right now, for the next test, I'm going to just make it manual. When I need to thaw it out, I'll turn this on for whatever, 4 or 5 minutes, and then this whole radiator should be thawed. So that's what I'm trying to do now. Find an inexpensive way to use a heater on here. Now this, if you do the math, for 26 feet with 107 watts total, that comes out to about 4 watts per foot. So this should be pretty efficient. And if it gets to 100, you know, 115, 110 degrees, that's nice. I could do that for a few watts. So I'll run about, I don't know, less than 20 watts for sure. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, here's how I routed this thing. The end of it here goes down, comes up in the middle, goes around the top. Of course, it's tied in as tight as I can get it. Goes down, takes a turn, and goes across the bottom, down underneath, all the way to the other side, comes up here, comes over, and just goes straight up on the outside. I didn't really weave it, okay, because I need my heat over here, this corner. Okay, so I have heat here, heat along the bottom, and then heat over here. And now I'll terminate this with a 120 volt connection. Now, here's how this stuff is, okay? There's 2 wires going down through. It's a bi-wire, okay? So you have one on each side, one here and one over on this side. It goes straight down through, comes out the other end. They don't touch. You don't twist them together at the end or anything like that, okay? This inner part here is the resistive material. So there's a metallic copper mesh on the outside, then there's another coating, okay, and then that black plastic is the thermoplastic. So that's all it is to it. Now this stuff here, I looked up, first one I come across, $10.70 a foot. $10.70 a foot. Okay, I just wasted $8 there. Anyway, yeah, I got 2 rolls of it, 25 foot each, for $4. They were $2 a piece. I snapped them up. I knew what they were. I didn't know how expensive it was, but I knew it was more expensive than regular heat tape. But the nice thing is, like I said before, you can make this any length you want. So I got about 3 feet. You know, I didn't really measure it. I can, but that's what I did here to keep this heated. So that's my method. You got a better one?